Hello and a very warm welcome back to Young at Heart. I'm so glad you've chosen to spend some time with me today. I want to start by asking you to picture a scene that might be very familiar. Imagine it's the middle of the night, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The house is perfectly still and quiet, wrapped in darkness. Everyone else is sound asleep. But you're awake. And it's not a bad dream or a noise from the outside that has startled you. It's that quiet, but persistent and urgent feeling from within. The feeling that you need to get up and go to the bathroom. Again, you carefully place your feet on the floor, trying not to wake the person next to you. Your feet touch the cool floor, and you begin that slow, silent walk down the hallway. A path so familiar, you could walk it with your eyes closed. And after you've returned to your warm bed, you find it's not so easy to fall back into that deep, peaceful sleep. If this sounds like your reality, I want you to know that you are absolutely not alone. We often accept it as just a part of getting older. But what if I told you that this nightly interruption is more than just an annoyance? What if it's robbing your brain of its most important cleaning duty, a task that is essential for protecting your precious memories? Science has shown that sleep is when the brain performs a critical cleaning process. Think of it like a dedicated sanitation crew that comes in every night to wash away harmful toxins. But this crew can only work effectively when undisturbed. Every time you wake up, their work has to stop. Today, we're going to talk about how to help that sanitation crew work all night long so you can not only wake up feeling more rested, but also feel confident that you are actively protecting the health of your mind. So how can we ensure that our brain's dedicated sanitation crew gets a quiet, uninterrupted shift? It doesn't start with complicated medicines or procedures, but with a series of simple, conscious adjustments to our daily rhythms. Think of these not as strict rules, but as gentle invitations to work in greater harmony with your body. Let's explore them together. Our very first point, and I place it first because it often has the biggest impact, is to master your fluid timing. This principle is less about what you drink and much more about when you drink it. I want to tell you the story of a dear friend of mine. A wonderful woman in her 70s we'll call Margaret. Margaret is an avid reader, and for years, her most cherished ritual was to curl up in her armchair around 8:30 p.m. with a large, steaming mug of chamomile tea and a good novel. To her, this wasn't just a cup of tea. It was her personal symbol of peace, the perfect end to a busy day. But Margaret was also living in a state of perpetual fatigue. She was waking up 3, 4, sometimes even 5 times every night to go to the restroom. She felt foggy, her memory wasn't as sharp as it used to be, and she had simply resigned herself to the idea that this was her new normal. When I asked her about her nightly tea habit, she waved it off. "Oh, it's just herbal tea, it's caffeine-free, it's supposed to be relaxing." And in a way, she was right. The tea itself wasn't the villain. The problem was the timing and the volume. By drinking a large 16-ounce glass of liquid so close to her bedtime, she simply wasn't giving her kidneys enough time to process that fluid while she was still awake and active. So her body had no choice but to continue the work during the night, filling her bladder and repeatedly sending that urgent signal to her brain, pulling her out of the deep sleep she desperately needed. I suggested a simple experiment. "Margaret," I said, "what if you don't give up your cherished ritual? Let's simply move it. Could you try enjoying your special cup of tea right after dinner, around 6:30 p.m.? And then, for the rest of the evening, you only take small, gentle sips of water if you truly feel thirsty." She was skeptical at first. It felt like breaking a tradition that was deeply ingrained in her evening. but she was also tired enough to be willing to try anything. The first night, she made her tea earlier. She admitted it felt a bit strange, but that night, she only woke up twice, a marked improvement. The second night, she did the same, and she only woke up once, near morning. By the end of the first week, she had 2 consecutive nights where she slept straight through until her alarm clock went off, something she hadn't experienced in over a decade. The change in her was like watching a flower bloom. The fog lifted. She had more energy for her grandchildren, for her garden, for life. Margaret's story beautifully illustrates the core principle: front-load your fluids. Think of your body's hydration needs like tending to a houseplant. You water it thoroughly in the morning and afternoon, so it has all the moisture it needs to thrive. You don't dump a whole gallon of water on it right before nightfall. So aim to drink plenty of water throughout the morning and afternoon. Then, make a conscious decision to slow down as evening approaches. Try to have your last large drink at least 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. This simple rescheduling respects your body's natural processing time and is often the most effective step you can take. Our second point is to become a detective of bladder irritants. This is a fascinating journey of self-discovery. Certain common foods and beverages contain compounds that can directly irritate the sensitive lining of your bladder. When this lining gets irritated, it can become overactive, sending gotta go signals to your brain, even when it isn't full. It's a false alarm, but your brain always responds. The most notorious culprit, of course, is caffeine. Caffeine is a double-edged sword for nighttime. He insisted it was too early to affect his sleep. But as we age, our metabolism slows, and it takes our bodies much longer to clear caffeine from our system. A significant portion of that 3 p.m. coffee was still active in his bloodstream and affecting his bladder when he went to bed at 10 p.m. The solution for him was switching to a high-quality decaf in the afternoon. He still got the comforting ritual, but without the chemical disruption. I invite you to set a caffeine curfew for yourself. Perhaps no coffee, black tea, or caffeinated sodas after 2 p.m., and see what a difference it makes. Another major irritant to investigate is alcohol. A nightly glass of wine or a beer might feel relaxing and even help you fall asleep faster, but it's deceptive. Alcohol suppresses a key hormone that tells your kidneys to conserve water. As a result, your kidneys go into overdrive, flushing out water. Furthermore, it severely disrupts the architecture of your sleep later in the night, particularly the REM sleep that is so crucial for memory consolidation. If you're struggling with nightly wake-ups, consider taking a break from evening alcohol for a week or 2 and observe the results. You might be surprised. Other potential irritants for some people include acidic foods like tomatoes and citrus fruits, as well as very spicy foods, especially when eaten at dinner. Being a gentle detective of your own diet can reveal clues you never expected. The third strategy is a wonderfully simple and often overlooked trick. Use the power of gravity by elevating your legs. Have you ever noticed that your ankles and lower legs are a bit puffy or swollen at the end of the day? This is a common condition called edema, where fluid pools in your lower extremities due to the constant downward pull of gravity. When you lie down flat in bed, gravity is no longer holding that fluid in your legs. Your body senses this and begins the process of reabsorbing that fluid back into your bloodstream. From there, it's sent to your kidneys to be filtered. The result? Your kidneys are put on the night shift, processing fluid that accumulated all day. The solution is elegant. Do that fluid balancing before you go to bed. For about 30 to 60 minutes every evening, while you're reading or watching television, prop your legs up so that your ankles are comfortably higher than your heart. You can do this in a recliner, or by lying on the sofa with your feet on the armrest, or even by lying on the floor and resting your calves on the seat of a chair. This uses gravity to your advantage, helping that pooled fluid drain from your legs and re-enter your circulation while you are still awake and upright. Your body can then process it before you lie down for the night. This passive, relaxing activity can have an incredibly active and positive impact on the quality of your sleep. Our fourth solution is to strengthen your core support with pelvic floor exercises. Please don't be shy about this topic. It's fundamental to our health. The pelvic floor is a remarkable hammock of muscles at the base of your pelvis that supports your bladder and other organs. As we age, these muscles can weaken, leading to less urinary control and a more frequent sense of urgency. But the wonderful news is that these are muscles and they can be strengthened. These exercises are often called Kegels, and they are beneficial for both men and women. To do them correctly, you first need to identify the right muscles. The next time you are urinating, try to stop the flow midstream for just a second. The muscles you use to do that internal lifting and tightening sensation, are your pelvic floor muscles. That is the feeling you want to replicate. The exercise is simple. Gently squeeze and hold those muscles for a count of 5 seconds. It should feel like you are lifting them up and in. Then, relax completely for a count of 10 seconds. The relaxation phase is just as important. Aim for a set of 10 repetitions and try to do 2 or 3 sets throughout your day. The beauty is that no one will know you're doing them. You can do them while waiting in line, sitting in traffic, or even right now as you watch this video. Be patient. It can take 4 to 6 weeks of consistent practice to notice a real difference. But the payoff in terms of control and confidence is immeasurable. Finally, our fifth tip is a wonderfully practical one. Practice the double voiding technique and create a calming bedtime routine. Sometimes, especially for men with an enlarged prostate or women with a slight bladder prolapse, the bladder doesn't empty completely on the first try. This simple technique can make a big difference. When you go to the bathroom, as the last step before getting into bed, urinate as you normally would. Then, before you get up, just stay seated for an extra 30 seconds. Take a few deep, relaxing breaths. Then, lean forward slightly and gently try to go again. You might be surprised that a little more is released. That small extra amount can be the difference between sweeping an extra hour or two. ... Couple this practical trick with the creation of a soothing bedtime routine. In the hour before sleep, dim the lights. Turn off the bright screens of the television, computer, and phone, as their blue light can interfere with your body's production of the sleep hormone, melatonin. Listen to calming music. Read a physical book or magazine. Take a warm bath. These activities send a powerful signal to your brain that the day is over and it's time to prepare for deep, restorative rest. It creates a peaceful transition from the business of the day to the quiet of the night, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. So, we've walked through these 5 powerful strategies together. From mastering your fluid timing like Margaret, to being a detective of irritants like George, using gravity to your advantage, strengthening your foundation, and creating a peaceful bedtime routine. Each of these is a tool you can now use to build a better, more restful night. Please remember why this is so vitally important. This journey is about so much more than just feeling less tired. Every uninterrupted night of sleep is a profound gift to your brain. It's another night where that sanitation crew can do its job thoroughly, washing away those harmful toxins and helping to protect the clarity of your thoughts, the vibrancy of your personality, and the treasure chest of your most cherished memories. It is one of the most proactive and loving things you can do for your future self. Now, I know this is a lot of information, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Please do not feel that you have to do everything at once. The path to lasting change is not a sprint. It is a gentle, steady walk. I want to encourage you to pick just one of these strategies to focus on this week. Just one. Perhaps you'll start with the easiest one for you. Maybe it's elevating your legs while you watch the evening news. Or maybe it's switching to decaf coffee in the afternoon. Just try that for 7 days. See how you feel. Notice any small changes. That one small success will give you the confidence and motivation. Try another one next week. Our bodies are incredibly resilient, but they respond to gentle, consistent care, not drastic, short-term changes. Be patient and kind with yourself through this process. You are tending the precious garden of your own well-being. If this conversation has been helpful for you, if you felt understood and supported today, I would be so honored if you would join our community here at Young at Heart. Please take a moment to click the like button on this video, as it helps other people who need this information find it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you're not just getting more videos. You're joining a family of people dedicated to living this chapter of life with vitality, health, and joy. Thank you so much for your time and your trust today. It means the world to me. Be well, sleep deeply, and I look forward to seeing you right back here in our next video.